welcome guys to my review of Netflix's brand newest film, which released today, The Gray Man, directed by the Russo brothers, starring Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jessica Henwick, Rajan Page, I really hope I pronounced that right, Danush, Billy Bob Thornton, and that's about it. So I hope you enjoy my review, my spoiler review, since, as I said in my review for Thor: Love and Thunder, I don't trust myself not to spoil it. My overall first thoughts on The Gray Man are is that it's a pretty decent movie. It's a little above that ratio. It's pretty good, but it's not great. Some of my issues have to do with it being the fact that one of the problems I hate with films is when the plot is moving so fast and the people talk so fast in it that you can't digest any of it, and if you're not paying super close attention, you can't tell exactly what's going on and why exactly they're, doing all this. But The Gray Man makes up in that with sick action pieces, with the Russo brothers directing and their amazing kind of camera work of the constant moving around, and also great talent. Just this movie is full of it. Starting off, of course, with Ryan Gosling, who is playing Sierra 6, which is his name in the film, which he's pretty good in the role. One of my thoughts, I've always been on Ryan Gosling, every time I see him, I'm just like, he always just seems so emotionless, but he really isn't. I mean, if he is in this one, that's by choice, because, he's like an international assassin. But there's also a secret, child subplot in this movie that wasn't in any of the trailers, that actually ties really big into him and his backstory, which it isn't even his, it's his boss's niece. So, and honestly, now we can talk about my favorite part of the movie, which is Chris Evans as the villain with his, as they call in the movie, the trash stash. Because frankly, now I understand why Chris Evans loves working with the Russo brothers, because if you don't know, the Russo brothers are the directors of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, Avengers: Infinity War, and Avengers: Endgame. All films starring Chris Evans. So, frankly, when he's in this, he is hilarious. He has the best lines in the whole movie. His whole thing of just being a massive narcissist and just there's one scene where basically he's holding the niece and the old boss hostage. And when Ryan Gosling finally gets them out and he gets back to the room and realizes that he's just he's in the building. Then he walks out of the room, so all the guards just standing in front of him, and he just starts kicking them and yelling, "Morons!" and just starts shooting them. And it's just like, dude, it's your fault, because he's just a massive narcissist. So yeah, Chris Evans is probably my favorite part of this movie, and honestly, sometimes I do wish Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling roles were reversed, where he was the good guy and he was the bad one. But he's good with his trash stash, so I'll take it. The next character I'll talk about is Ana de Armas, who, honestly, sometimes in the movie I was wondering, why is she here again? Because, frankly, she kind of is only part of the movie just because they think she has something to do with Ryan Gosling being, betraying them, even though she has nothing to do with it. So it's just like, alright, well, guess I now gotta have something to do with it. But anyway, she's still pretty BA as normal. That's just always Ana de Armas. First, I said she's already worked with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. She worked with Chris Evans on Knives Out, and she worked with Ryan Gosling during Blade Runner. So she has past history with both of them, which is probably why she's in the movie at all. So yeah, she's pretty decent. Jessica Henwick, her haircut still needs some work. Why does Jessica Henwick always have a different haircut in every movie she's in? First Matrix, where she's blue. Now this, her haircuts are devolving. I missed the Colin Wing cut. But she's pretty decent in the movie. Near the end of the movie, she has a certain twist where you're just like, oh, she's good, I guess. Cool. But, yeah. Which obviously, of course, the boss of Ryan Gosling, who is kind of forced into this too because he's in retirement. But since he's the only one who really knows Ryan Gosling, he's forced to, help them find him. And Chris Evans pulls out his fingernails, which, that's not a pleasant scene. Ugh. I really hope those grow back, by the way, just. I mean, oh, no, wait, they won't grow back because he dies at the end of the movie. But, sorry, that's spoilers. I told you it was going to spoil. But yeah, he dies at the end of the movie, so. Crap. But yeah, his character is overall pretty good, even though he's being forced to, kill Ryan Gosling. He doesn't want to but you know, he's got to protect his niece. So, yeah. As I said earlier, it's still a pretty, you know, standard spy story with, you know, it being like a drive that they got back because it, you know, tells, you know, it gives away secret intel about the bad guy of the film, who's really the dude from Bridgerton, you know, Raoul Page, who, he's a pretty evil dude, especially since he uses the Carmichael name, which is sacred to Chuck, so you better get rid of it. But yeah, the whole thing about a kind of, you know, standard spy story is kind of made up in the fact that the action is great. It's really good, mostly just because the hand-to-hand combat is so good. Like, there's a scene at the beginning of the movie where Ryan Gosling's forced into killing this dude, but he doesn't want to do it with just a standard gun because frankly, there's collateral damage with the child. So he literally waits till after the dude leaves and he's away from the child. He goes in, he just randomly just picks stuff up and just kills people immediately. And it's just so quick and stealthily with it because he's just literally walking behind them and they don't hear him doing it. So yeah, he's just a master of stealth, and overall just the hand-to-hand combat was really good in this movie. The final fight between him and Chris Evans is pretty good. The whole trains fight scene is pretty good. Even more, his interaction between Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans is overall pretty funny. Like, I love the scene where, you know, he's got him pepper spray and he's just like, you know, you must be loaded. What gave it away? The trash stash, you know. It's like, and then, you know, he drops a grenade right in front of him, and Chris Evans just like, ballsy. And they both just run off. That's a pretty funny scene from the trailer that I'm having made into the film. But anyway, that's my overall review of The Gray Man. Overall, it's a pretty decent film considering Netflix, as it joins the club of high value, you know, super expensive Netflix films, as it joins the ranks of Six Underground, Red Notice, Extraction, one other one that I'm forgetting, and it's gonna annoy me, but it's overall pretty decent. And I give it a 7 out of 10. That's my ranking of The Gray Man. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope to see y'all in my next 2 videos, since I have 2 videos coming out. One should be coming out tomorrow night, which is my overall Comic-Con review. Out of all the news coming out of Comic-Con, starting tomorrow night, right after the Marvel and Chucky panel finishes. At the end of this week, I'm going to be posting my review, my vlog of a week in the life of Spencer, which was just going to be 1 video with my Comic-Con, but there's so much news that it's got to be 2. So I hope to see y'all then, and goodbye.